let me have a conversation quickly with you on this, Richard, as well, which is the Occupy movement.
Right.
So that's kind of I'm going to keep it real on that too. I think that's a bit of a second fail for us, right? Look, we did the general strike on Tuesday's show. We did not do any videos. We didn't do an online show, et cetera. We did a whole Occupy show on the Young Turks on the current show, right? And, tens of thousands of people protested across the country in 100 different cities, literally, right? One, it didn't get much media coverage. Now, that's not Occupy's fault. That's the media's fault. We covered the hell out of it. We sent JR, Anna, Lucas. They all got great footage in Los Angeles where we are. But I feel like Occupy is not coalescing around a message. So all this energy is dispersed.
Right. I think that's the issue now. And I think the struggle that's going on is there's this struggle between how much to get into policy, how much to get into electoral politics. The initial message, there's the 99% and there's the 1%, was brilliant. It had been raised before, but the message and the delivery were both amazing because they were both designed in a way to capture attention. So I think the challenge now for the Occupy movement is how do you take that to the next level in a way that will also capture attention and deliver it in a way that will capture attention.
Now, here's what you have to understand, because I have a unique perspective on this, which is that I work in television. If you have a visual like that, every TV station is going to cover it, because you look like Planet of the Apes. You're smashing the windows, et cetera, et cetera. I'm keeping it real, okay?
No, you're totally right. Yeah.
And so peaceful protests versus guys smashing windows, 9 out of 10 times, if not 10 out of 10 times, the TV is going to pick up the guys smashing windows. So then, what is the message that you sent out? You can have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of peaceful protesters dispersed throughout the country. But the thing that gets on TV, that gets broadcast to 300 million people, is the guy smashing the windows, right? So I know that you don't have full control over everybody, right? I know that, right? But just be cognizant of that as you go forward, because that's how this game is played. So that's point number one. Point number two is, look, I just think they need 3 spokespeople, right? And I know that they're into the whole, we're all Shangri-La democracy, and I love you. I'm in favor of democracy. I'm not in favor of direct democracy. So that's where we have a real difference of opinion. Meaning, okay, we have a vote on Resolution 32 BCF. All right, now everybody, let's figure out what that is, and and everybody takes a vote, and everybody has a say, and 3 hours and 45 minutes later, no one understands it. And no, I believe in representative democracy, right? And I believe that on an organizational level too. I've been there, and look, I was at General Assembly meetings in New York over and over again, in Oakland, in Los Angeles, right? And you got to have spokespeople that pound the message home. Otherwise, your efforts get dispersed and scattered into the wind. I know media. Look, you could disagree with me on other things. You could disagree with me on this, but I know media, okay? And you're not going to get your message out. And if you don't, then you're not really representing the 99% of us who need that representation.
The one thing I might modify about your idea, because I like it in general, is I worry when power gets too consolidated in just 2 or 3 people, but you might have a committee of 15 or 20 spokespeople that rotate or that address different issues so that nobody because we saw a couple of people try to become the face of Occupy and then there was backlash. But if we have 15 or 20 people who are educated on different aspects of the problem, who are telegenic, I'm sorry, but we both know that's important, who can communicate, who then come back and speak for the group. And yeah, okay, the assemblies can re-ratify or de-ratify them every 6 months or whatever. But if you have that, then you start to have a sort of very interesting communication process.
Right. One last thing on that. Look, TV producers are not complicated folks. When they need to do a story on Occupy, or they're even thinking about doing a story on Occupy, all those TV producers need a list. Here are my guys. It could be 3, it could be 15. And now of that 15, they're probably going to like 2 or 3 and not like the rest, right? But they need a list in front of them so that they can go to them. And the more well-known someone is, the more likely it is that somebody will say, oh yeah, I saw, John Jones on TV and he was good on MSNBC, so let's get him on CNN, right? And it has a multiplier effect. You got to get the message out, and you got to be disciplined in how you get the message out. Because to me, there's a family in Orlando, there's a single mother in Pittsburgh, there's all these people that you're representing that aren't in your General Assembly. And you got to speak out for them. You're their voice, so you got to deliver that voice more effectively. So, and look, and I'm not saying the media is not at fault. I think that there was some great footage that we got of great protests because we tried. We go to Los Angeles and we get great footage. They could have done that in every city, and unfortunately, and oftentimes they didn't. So I'm hoping we can work together to get a better result because, May Day was supposed to be huge. And as it turns out, I'm keeping it real. It didn't have as big an impact as I would have liked.